Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes, Mr.
Yes, I
DJ, we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Loud and clear, sir.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering why people are struggling to join this call.
I think they have it. I don't know if they have a different link. So if we could copy the link from here and then put it up there.
I've given it to them.
Because the initial link I joined in
Maybe
was
they
not.
pick a wrong one.
Yeah.
Greg, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Joan, please, did you check your
afternoon,
chat?
sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. But I'm having a problem. I've been able to join the former group, but this new group, the DP700, each time I request to join, it tells me you have been removed from the group.
Wow. Wow. So, okay. I think we need to start
Yes, sir.
because the time is running. Joan, are you ready for us?
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
Please, you have the floor.
I was thinking Mr. Rashid is meant to
Oh,
do an
Rashid,
introduction
you have the
first,
floor.
but
Okay, so good day, everyone. How are we doing? So my name is Rashidi Oguniro, and I will be moderating this session. For those of us that attended the first session, how was it? I was in the DP600 class, and it was massive. So we have an amazing speaker again in the house. She's Joan Achukwu, and she's a very good friend, a data analyst, and a Microsoft certified trainer. He's going to build on the foundation that was laid last week by Mr. Adeji Folarin. And so I just want you to be ready. And again, if you are new, I mean, today is your first, you didn't attend the last class. Let me see your hand. Just show of hand. And if you, okay, only one person. Okay, thank you, Daberechi. Okay, thank you, Daberechi. Please, you might need to chat me. Then, if you attended the last class and you have not been profiled, let me see your hand also, because I know everybody that reach out to me, I profiled them. But if you attended the last class, okay, Mr. Greg, okay, please chat me after this class so that I can quickly profile you as the class is ongoing. So,
You can
Joanne,
drop your detail on Q&A.
okay,
Just go to Q&A, drop it so I can
okay, I'll just do
profile
it as
you
this class thing.
immediately.
Okay, that's fine. So, Joanne, you have the floor. You have just 1 hour 30 minutes in case there is question. So with a clap of hand, let's welcome our speaker, as she will be taking us through the session. Thank you, Joanne.
thank you very much, Mr. Rashid. Someone's hand is raised. Mr. Rashid, I don't know you. Take that.
Please, you might need to bring down your hand, Daberechi.
No, that's Emmanuel. Emmanuel.
John or something.
Yes.
Yeah, good to go.
Okay, it seems like it was a mistake. Hi, everyone. Good evening to you. Hope you had a good day. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you're doing fine. I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Mr. Rashid, for the introduction. But I'll just add a bit to it. So my name is Joan Onachukwu, and I'm a data analyst and an AI professional, consultant as well. I'm interested in anything data, AI, tech as a whole. And of course, I'm a member of the DAISI community, which is an amazing community. And of course, we just celebrated our anniversary yesterday. It was really, really interesting. So you're welcome once again. We are thankful to DAISI and Microsoft for everything, empowering education, empowering minds. So today I'm just going to do like a step up from what Mr. Ayodeji had last week. So I'm just going to share my screen so we can continue from where he stopped. So just give me a moment while I share my screen. Just kindly confirm if you can see my screen, please. Kindly confirm if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I can see your thumbs up. Hopefully network doesn't get in the way, but we're gonna have a good time. So last week we had explored DP700 and I mean what it's about. Mr. Eldridge had informed me that he had taught you how to create a workspace. So today we're actually going to learn a lot more actually. So first, just give me a moment while I go to ingest and load data, which is where we're going to continue from. I believe you've gone through all the slides. All right, so this is where we are, right? Ingest and store data in Fabric. As a data engineer, this is a core part of your job, okay? And there are different types of ways to actually get data into your Fabric space. Now, we have Dataflows Gen 2, which is a low-code type of ingesting data, that's copying data. You can just drag and drop. We're going to have a demo, so I'm going to show you a demo. But first, let me just go through the slides. And next, there's also data factory pipelines. We have our nodes as well. We have our shortcuts. We can actually create shortcuts from one environment to another. And then we have mirroring. So with mirroring, you can just say, okay, show me what is in this particular database or schema into the other schema. And then we have event stream, which is real-time data, analyzing real-time data, getting data from real-time sources. And then we also have direct upload. We have different diverse storage options for Fabric data engineering. We have our Lakehouse, which I believe Mr. Daly had talked about. We have our warehouse, we have our SQL database, and we have our event house. Now, for the Lakehouse, what happens in the Lakehouse is that the Lakehouse is where you have your structured data. In the Lakehouse, you have your structured data. Meanwhile, in the warehouse, you can have structured, unstructured, or semi-structured data. Now, what is structured data? Structured data is when you have data that is arranged in a table or in a file. And okay, we have talked about warehouse already. And then we also have our SQL database, which is also a storage option. You could actually have data. Let's assume you work with a company and you have a database in your SQL server. You can actually go there and get a connection string and then use it, put in the URL there, and then use it to actually move your data from one source to another. And we also have the event house. Whenever you hear anything about events, please always think of it as real time. Event is real time. Okay, so anything time you hear events, just think of real time analytics. And with that, we use KQL. It's a type of querying language called coastal querying language. Just like SQL, SQL is actually called what? Structured querying language. All right. Now, you can also choose different types of ingestion methods. And while you're doing that, you consider different things. Also, consider the data volume. If you want to do an ingestion, consider the data volume, consider the data type. If you have a very, very big data, you have to know the type of ingestion method you choose. Also consider your ingestion frequency. How often you want to load this data set, or how if you actually append them, or if you actually, let's assume it's a scheduled data set where at some point after 8 minutes you bring in new data. After 8 minutes you bring in new data. That is actually what they call scheduling, right? And so when you're talking about ingestion frequency, how many times is that data going to get into your database? So you should always consider that. And then you should consider the developer's persona and skill sets too. So yeah, with Microsoft Fabric engineering, what you can actually do is this a place for drag and drop. And then if you actually want to use code, so you can do that. So for more experienced people, they can say, hey, I want to work with code instead. I want to work with SQL, or I want to use Python to work, or if you have a low code professional as well, they can just use the drag and drop method. Even for beginners, they can use the drag and drop method as well. You have to consider your integration needs, the performance requirements, and then the complexity of the data transformation. Whilst this class is going on, please feel free to ask questions. Okay, I know that I have limited time, so I just have to. All right. We had actually said that you have to actually choose a data store in Fabric. And when you're choosing a data store in Fabric, there are different considerations you should have. You should consider your data volume. I've talked about that before. Consider your data types. Consider your developer personnel, your skill sets, if you're super experienced with coding or a low code. Think of the data organization as well. Read and write operations, your security features, integration and accessibility, your ingestion latency, your maintenance and performance optimization. The main thing is you want to make sure that whatever data you're bringing in is not, you have everything you need in your Fabric workspace, okay? And you don't have any limitations or a lag. So you have to consider that. If you have very large data sets, you have to know the kind of storage option you want to use or the kind of data store you want to use. I hope that is clear. If that's clear, please can I have a thumbs up? If not, please feel free to ask questions in the chat. All right, so on to the next. We're going to talk about integrating data sources in Fabric. So there are different ways to integrate data sources. When you hear, okay, you want to integrate data in Fabric, we're just talking about getting data into Fabric, okay? So we have our data factory workload, we have our data flows. We're going to have a demo on that. We have our pipelines, we have our notebooks, and we have our real-time intelligence, which is event stream. Remember what we had mentioned about real-time intelligence. Now, this is what a pipeline looks like. This is what a pipeline looks like, okay? So you can see that we have an interface here. This is your pipeline interface. And each of these boxes you see here are called activities. That's what they're called, activities. Okay, so with pipeline, you can have activities, which is data transformation or control workflow. You can actually choose to move data from one data source or one data schema to another. And when you do that, it could give you some, for example, what we have on the screen here, you can see a field here. So with this particular field instance that happened, the data engineer must have already scheduled this in a way that when you get field, you get a notification in your email saying, hey, this has failed. Why? Because a data engineer cannot at every point be checking all of this every time. But if there's an issue, then that's when he can now, or she can now say, oh, there's something going on. Let me go in and check. Yes. And we have our parameters and we have our pipeline runs, which is what you can see here. You can see the link, copy data from sample data to this. So data is being copied from here, from this particular activity to the notebook. And there was a field at this point. All right. So Fabric notebooks. So for Fabric notebooks has supported languages. Whenever you hear Fabric notebook, just imagine that we're talking about PySpark, and we're talking about Spark's SQL query as well. So you can actually work with Python and with SQL within this notebook interface. And it's used for integrated data processing. You can actually analyze your data within this interface. You can do your scheduling and automation as well. You can also do the data exploration and visualization. Machine learning and AI can also happen within this environmental interface. Okay, and we have our Spark integration. So looking at this particular environment we have here, you can see that there has been work done. You can see the Python work done there, creating a schema for a table from PySpark. You import, these are the tables that are being imported. and you import everything. So remember, we had said that we should always consider the developer's skill set. So if you're really skilled with Python, well, you can use this, you know. And then there's a place for SQL as well. If you want to work with SQL, you can also use your SQL too. Okay. So this particular environment is showing PySpark.SQL, you know. But it's also a very plain SQL environment as well. All right, so we talk about Fabric real-time intelligence. Remember we said about real-time. For instance, right now we are having training, and even now data is being gathered. We're having a live training, data is being gathered. So you can actually, if you're actually working at the back end, you can, that's what real-time intelligence is. Let us say you say, okay, we want to analyze how this training went. We want to analyze the amount of people that attended this training, or how many people will get that will join in, you know, later on or during the training. Yeah, so event stream is real-time data stream ingestion and transformation. Event house is a scalable storage and querying of real-time data. Now, KQL, which is called Custom Query Language Query Set, is a tool for creating and running queries in KQL databases within an event house. For your exam, you might be asked the question, you might see a question that says, oh, what's KQL used for? And you see real-time intelligence. Please don't forget to click that. We also have a real-time dashboard. So, I mean, for real-time intelligence in Fabric, very easy that you can actually see interactive visualization and exploration of real-time data as it's happening. And also there's the activator, which is automated actions triggered by real-time events. I'm just going to move this so that you can see. Awesome. So you can see the description here now. You can see the different data sources here. And then you ingest it into Fabric. So from different data sources, from the internet, from SQL database, you can now ingest it into Fabric. See the ingestion process here, ingest and process. You can then you analyze and transform, then you visualize and act. And event stream is here. So real time, this is real time. It gets into event stream down here to event house, right? From event house, you can now what? Visualize. So yeah. Please, do we have any questions, please? If you have any questions, please put it in the inbox. Mr. Rashid, please inform me if there are any other questions. Thank you. Right, next. Okay, so of course, for your exam, you prepare for your DP exam. There's the code here. It's a link here that you can use to actually get to DP700 to prepare. We're going to have a demo now, actually. Yes, and there's also a QR code here if you need to prepare for your DP700 exam. At some point during the course of this training, we're going to go through questions together. So please don't be afraid. All right. So I think at this point, I would just go into. Give me a moment, please. Awesome. Just gonna focus. Please confirm if you can hear me, please. Confirm if you can hear me. All right. So
We can hear you.
thank you. So today we're just going to understand how to get and ingest data. That's what it's about today. How to get and ingest data. Let's go to home. So we'll just start afresh. Okay, so Mr. David had mentioned to me that previously he had taught you how to actually create a workspace. So we are going to create a workspace. We're going to start afresh and create a workspace. Okay, so if you need to create a workspace, you know what to do. You just go to new workspace. And let's give our workspace a name. Let's assume we're working with a company and the company is called Apex Solutions. So let's call this workspace Apex workspace. All right. And you also have to look, look at the name here is ticked saying that, oh, this name is good to go. If you have a repetitive name, it's going to tell you that, hey, you can't have this. Can you change your name? So you have to just change it. You can also choose to use underscores if you want to for the workspace, but I think it's better for this. Yes. And then you can give a description. You can say for all Apex solution engineering processes. So we're just giving the workspace a description. So whenever we get into a workspace or any other person, let's assume you're not on a seat and someone else is there, person can get in and see everything you've done. So the description is actually very, very important. Okay. Now at this point, you can choose to put a workspace image. If Apex Solutions has a logo, feel free to upload a PNG file or a JPEG file here. And the contact list, as you can see, is saying Joe.Onwuchukwu is saying I'm the owner. Now, if you actually need to work in a data engineering space in Fabric, you actually need a Fabric trial capacity. This is saying Power BI Pro. This is not what we need. Power BI Premium user, no. We are working on Fabric. This is Fabric's data engineering, DP700. So you just click here. And it tells you here that when you select when you want to access capabilities offered in Fabric for free, because a Fabric trial, it lasts for just 60 days. Always remember that. But if you're using your environment regularly, then I'm sure it will be renewing itself at some point. So, yeah. And then we have the details. So this is where our data centers are. So it's asking us, where are our data centers? Where do you want to choose? But for us, we're choosing West Europe, of course. And then we have our semantic model storage format. So if you're actually working with small data, like data that is not a lot, please use your small semantic model storage format. However, if you're working with the large semantic model storage formats, you can only use that when you have really, really, really big data sets. But for this training, we are working with 2,000 rows, actually a small data set, 500 rows, a small data set. So I'm going to use small semantic model storage format. Plus, one of the reasons why I think it's important to choose it if you're using small semantic model storage format is that when your data is actually very little, and you apply your data, there are no issues. If other people also use it as well, there's not going to be issues. We don't want to overwhelm data and AI's storage, So because of that, we're choosing the small semantic model storage formats. So what else? Okay, it's asking us here, template apps are developed for share. So if you want to actually develop a template app while working in this workspace, you can click on yes, but there's no need for that really. So we just click on apply. All right, so you can see here that we have our Apex workspace, and you can see our description here, looking very nice. For all Apex Solutions engineering processes, you can choose to name it however you want to name it. Now, remember this phase of this training is talking about getting and ingesting data. So let's click on new item. I don't know if Mr. DJ had gone through this the last time, but I'm just going to go through it for you. So if you actually want to get and ingest data, there are different ways. We had talked about it before. We have the pipeline, we have the Dataflow Gen 2. However, if you scroll down, there are so many categories here. You can see for get data, we have different categories. We have our copy job. There are even descriptions there showing you what it actually does. For copy jobs, it makes it easy for you to copy data into the Fabric. You can actually copy and do a full copy, or you can do an incremental copy. So what does full copy mean? Full copy means you copy everything, all the data from one source to another. For incremental copy, it's saying, copy it like in batches. That's what it is. And then event-based copy modes is real time. And then we have our Dataflow Gen 2, where you can actually get data, ingest data, and then transform the data here through the Dataflow Gen 2. So whenever you hear Dataflow, Dataflow actually has two capabilities. Can get data and you can transform data through that. And the beauty of Dataflow is that it just looks like your Power BI, it's actually just Power Query, basically. Yeah, so it has that look. So if you're a Power BI data analyst already, that environment or that interface is not going to scare you. It's easy for you to see and understand. And we have our event stream, which is another way of getting your data and transforming your real-time data. We have our notebook. Notebook is usually for the code, for anything code, Spark, PySpark, T-SQL, Python. And then we have a pipeline where you can ingest data, and schedule data workflows. We're going to do that. And then we have our Spark job definition, where you can define, schedule, and manage your Apache Spark jobs for big data processing. So most times the coding part of data engineering most likely will require your notebook and your Spark job definition. All right. And then we have our mirroring data too, where you can replicate data from any location into one lake in near real time. Okay, and there are also different options here. So if you want to mirror data, you can mirror data. There are different options here. We have our mirrored Azure Cosmos DB. We have our mirrored Azure database for MySQL. We have Databricks, everything mirrored. Mirrored Oracle, mirrored for SAP, mirrored Snowflake. So when you just click, if you have a Snowflake count, you move there. If you have an SAP, that's how you can also connect to Microsoft Fabric as well. And we also have store data. You can choose to store data with your Cosmos DB, data mats, event schema, event house, lake house. They're just different ways. So there's so much for you to explore. But for the purpose of this particular training today, we're just going to be looking at getting data. And we're going to be exploring first copy job, and then we'll explore Dataflow Gen 2, and then we'll explore pipeline. Okay, yes. So let's see. All right. So right now, Apex Workspace is saying, okay, see, we actually need data. We want to copy this. We need data. We want to copy some data. What are we going to do? How are we going to do that? Whenever you hear copy job, it's just taking a copy of a data that you have already and putting it into the Fabric Workspace. Now, you can actually copy data into your warehouse or into your lakehouse. Okay, but for this purpose today, we're actually going to copy our data into our lakehouse. So if you want to copy data, you just click here, copy data, or you can choose to stay here and then check if you want to. Yeah. But first, before we start that, we will create our lakehouse. Remember what we said about the lakehouse? The lakehouse is where you have your structured data. So 8 minutes.
Sorry, I have a question. For the lake house, is it only just structured data or you have structured and unstructured there?
Yeah, sorry, let me come in there.
Sorry.
For the lake house, according to the name, lake and house. So is a combination of data lake and data warehouse.
Yeah.
Data warehouse is 100% structured. So lake house is flexible. It allows 100% structured data. It also allows semi-structured or unstructured data. I hope that is clear.
Thank you, sir. Very clear, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So there's a big advantage using a lake house. So you can, tomorrow, want to create a lake house, tomorrow you can decide to put a CSV file, upload Excel file, PDF file in a lake house. But if it is a warehouse, you are already limited to only structured data. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. David. Thank you for clearing that up. Okay, so with Lakehouse, it's flexible, so you can actually choose to do anything you want to do. So I think it's preferable we choose our Lakehouse. So we're going to create a Lakehouse. And I think it's good to use a relatable name. So I'll just use Apex underscore LH. LH meaning lake house. And you can leave this ticked, so just create. So you give it a moment for it to create. All right. So our lake house is created, and you can see here we have a different color code for that. Or it just allow it to load fully. But whilst it's doing that, let's just go through this. Oh, it's loaded. Awesome. Okay, so we have our refresh button here. So let's assume you're working on something, or you've created the pipeline, or I mean, just you need to refresh to see if you can find it in your lakehouse. You can just click on this button. You have your settings here. This is everything you need to know about Apex Lakehouse. You can choose to put a description if you want. And then we have get data, where you can choose to upload files, get a new copy job, new Dataflow Gen 2, new table shortcuts, and connect event stream. So basically, it's just showing us, I mean, different ways we can actually, get data into the lakehouse. And then we have add to a data agent. You can create a new data agent or an existing. If you have an already existing data agent, you can work with that as well. You can manage your one lake. Yeah. But now we want to do a copy job execution. That's what we're going to do now. So what we need to do is just click here and create new copy job. Now we have upload files, the same thing we had up here, but we still have here that we sample data, new shortcut, new Dataflow Gen 2, new copy job, right? Okay, so but I think it's better for us to start with sample. So let's work with the sample data. So apparently Fabric Space has some sample data that you can actually work with.
So
yeah.
Sorry for cutting in. Can you still show us, click the arrow? There are still more that you can do.
So,
There's an arrow after the new copy job. No, not up on your dashboard.
So we also have the open notebook here, where you can perform, transform and ingest data using code in Apache Spark or connect to event stream. So with event stream, remember you can capture, transform, and route real-time streams. All right, so we just go back.
Yeah, let's use the copy job.
Yes. So first, we're just going to create a new copy job. And
sorry, one hand is up. Sorry for breaking in.
Yes,
somebody raised his hand.
Yeah.
Please, you can go on with your question. Sheyi, please, you have the floor.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah,
I just wanted to okay. So I know the infrastructure behind the Fabric. How do Microsoft charge? I don't know if it's a question for now. Maybe is a question for maybe weeks later. How do Microsoft actually bill for this infrastructure in terms of, I mean, the size of data you bring in, and then the compute when you need to maybe run a particular model, or maybe you need to do maybe like PySpark or something, and then so how do they charge for it? I don't know if it's a question for now, maybe for future time.
Okay. Well, during the course of the 8 weeks series, we are going to spend more time to break down the licensing, what's it called? Variants that we have, all the types of licensing. So, but as long as you understand the way Azure work, then it's a similar way it works here. So we'll talk about that later. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we're just going to start with our new copy job, and we can give it this name, copy job 1, or we can choose to give it another name. Let's call it Apex, just to distinguish. Copy job 1, create. Give it some time to load. Awesome. So you can see that it has come up. So now this is the copy job interface, and it's asking us, okay, there are actually steps here. It's saying choose data phase, that's choose data source, that's the first phase. And then you choose data, choose your data destination, your setting, your map destination, and then you review and save. And yes, we also have different data sources. If you have data in your SQL Server database, you can use that. If you have a SharePoint folder, database in your data in your SharePoint folder, you can use that for data first. You can actually work with that. You click on view more, and you can see that we have so many options here. We have PostgreSQL database. We have Google BigQuery, Snowflake, Azure Blobs, Azure Tables, um, Azure Data Explorer. You know, there's just so many of them. We have Databricks, we have MongoDB. So there are different connectors. So if you have data in all of this, you can actually choose to use that. But today we're actually going to be working with our sample data sets. So let's just click here. This is where we have sample data set. Fabric has provided us with sample data sets where we can actually test, you know, and then do a practice. So I'm just going to work with our sample data sets. So I'll click on sample data. And you can see that we have different data sets here. We have the New York City taxi data sets, and there's a description about every data set there. And you can also see the file size, and all the files are in a parquet format. That's a tabular format. So we can see here green taxi trip records. We have a diabetes data set with over 442 samples. We have a retail data model from worldwide importers. But I think we can just work with our diabetes data set because it's actually very small. If I have to click on the New York City taxi green, it's going to take a lot of time. So let's just work with this. And then we can now preview the data set. Okay, gives you an option to preview. If you're not comfortable, you can go back and then choose something else. But let's work with the diabetes data set. So you just give it some time to load. It's loading. So if all the steps are completed, you know that your copy job has actually succeeded in doing your copy job properly. So this is the preview data of our diabetes data sets. As you can see, we have age, we have sex, we have your BMI, your BP, and then we have other data here. And then the data looks good, so we'll just click on next. All right, so it's asking us what read methods. How do you actually want this data to be copied? Do you want it to be copied as a full copy, or do you want it to be copied as incremental? Well, since it's a sample data and it's already here, we have to just copy all the data at once, you know. But let's assume we had, you know, data that is that comes in batches, then you use your incremental copy. All right, so we're using the full copy here. And then it's asking the destination root folder. We're going to use tables because it's going to be in a schema. So we're going to use the tables and not the files. It's better for it to be in a table format. And then it's asking us what write method can we use? Do you want to append this database? Do you want to merge this database? Do you want to overwrite this database? Up here, we can just see append, which is append means on the copy job run, new data will be added at the end of each table. So if you have a new data, you just add at the end. But that's not what we want. Remember, we just have our data set within this environment, which is a sample data set. So we'll just click on edit write method. And now we can see the different methods I just talked about. Okay, we're saying append, overwrite, merge, or use the SCD to preview. It's still in preview phase. But right now we're going to use the overwrite method because we want to get all our data. We don't want to append, we're not merging, we're not appending. We're just putting everything as is. And then you click on next. All right, so we have our sample data set here showing diabetes. This is the source. We have our destination, which is where this is the destination name here. and it's of course in the Parquet format. So this is just a table mapping. Let's see what our data looks like, what our data name looks like. I'll advise you to actually delete these special characters here, just to avoid any issues. And we can call it diabetes data set. Do we have a question? Somebody? Diabetes data is fine. All right. And you can click on here, edit column mapping, and click on here just to check out your data. You can choose to enable partitions if you want to, but for the purpose of this training, we're not going to do that. And scroll down, we can see our data set. Let me start from the top. So over here, we can see our data sets, type, an integer, or a Boolean, you can see our destination. This is the age, sex. You can see our data type as well. I'll just scroll down so that I can get this. Awesome. So everything looks good. That's because we're using a sample data. But if we're not using a sample data, it's important for you to actually look through this just to be sure that you're doing the right thing. Okay. And then you click on next. Okay, there's a hand raised. Sheyi Ogunira. Sheyi.
All right. I have a question. So,
Yes, please.
if I have other data sources, let's say I'm using SharePoint or maybe any other data source, and peradventure there's a change in the data structure in the future, what happens?
That's a very, 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 very good question. Now, as data engineers, sorry, John, for cutting in. I'm
Okay,
interested
sir.
in that question. As data engineers, so whenever we are getting data, our work, I'm happy you understand our function as data engineers, is to do ETL, identify data from different data sources, pull them from there. That's what John is teaching us today, ingestion. Pull them from the data source, clean it up where necessary so that it can be fit for use, then store it in a warehouse or a lake house. So, but by the time you have created this pipeline and it is working, they can easily destroy your pipeline if they delete a column because there is a mapping from the source and the destination. And on the source, they've edited it. So in most organizations, there's what we call change management. I don't know whether somebody that understands change management can help us break it down properly. They don't just tamper with data. You don't just because you want to create a new column or delete a new column, you just there is a change management that will be raised. And all party that will be involved, the data engineer must be copied. That way, on so date, we want to implement this change. So you as a data engineer, you will know that it's going to impact on you. And you will prepare for that same change on that same day. And once they do the change management, they roll back if there's a major issue. They will just see that when they implemented the change, there's a big problem. They roll back to how it was before so they can manage those changes. So please, as data engineers, if they alter the schema, either from the source or destination, it may impact. So you have to understand how it's being done. And somebody may want to ask again, what if I'm not the one? At least one of our students sometimes called. They modified the schema and she's no more, the person is no more there, but she's the one that took over the data engineering job. I told her, there is no way there is a documentation. As Joanne is working here, after this, she needs to prepare a document. If a layman should pick up that document, they will understand the process she did. So there will always be in a structure, let me put the word structured organization. In a structured organization, there's a documentation you can always fall onto to understand what is happening. If not, then you need to start troubleshooting, and that is that. I don't know if I've answered Sheyi's question. Sheyi?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so John, please continue.
Okay. So right now, everything looks good. So we just click on. All right. So it's you can see here at the review and save as facing summary. So this is the source, our sample data. Where are we taking it to? Of course, it's going to Apex Lakehouse. So yeah, and do a scroll down. You're going to just check out our table name, make sure that everything is in order. And you can see this box saying start transfer immediately. You can also choose to run on schedule if you want, but we're just running this once. Save and run. Right now, you can see that our copy job is happening clearly in real time, what we're seeing. So we're seeing it's not started, but it's going to start soon. So just wait. You can see saying here started. It's running, successfully running Apex copy job. You can see our source destination. This is it. Yes, you can see our status is showing us if it's successful, if it's queued, if it's still in progress. Rows red is not out here, but when everything is completed, then you see the rows red and rows written. So if you see that this is discrepancy between your rows red and your rows written, of course, you have to go back and check out the error. It should actually give you an error message, and then you can actually go and troubleshoot. If it's still in progress, you can see our duration here is saying 29 seconds. This is our start time when we started running this copy job, and we're actually going to show a run and copy. So you can actually see everything happening. Yeah. All right, so we're saying run succeeded. Awesome. So we have it here, succeeded in 32 seconds. Oops, okay. Rose red, zero, Y. Okay. Let's check our lake house. Let me see what's going on. Yes, Mr. Greg.
Sorry, is it after you created, they finished the copy that it takes you directly to show you the pipeline and all that? Or you had to get there?
Sorry, repeat what you just said.
I said after you copied the data,
Yes.
does it take you directly to where you saw the CID pipeline and all that, or you have to navigate there?
Yes.
I didn't know. Okay, it takes you
just
there
took me
straight.
there directly. Yes.
Okay.
All right. You can see our diabetes data is here. Just here. So we can choose to click on it to just check it out. It's in our Lakehouse. This is our default database schema. Okay, so it's always, we always have it there. And this is the second one we have. Just click on it. Here. So this is our file, our table, sorry, it's in table view. Awesome. And we can see all 442 rows of our diabetes data showing.
Sorry,
here.
why did you show 0 there? It's 442.
Yeah, I was wondering, I was actually
0.
wondering why. That's why I had to come and refresh. I was wondering why it said that. Let me run it again.
Okay, refresh. No, don't run again. Just refresh. There's a refresh at the bottom under results. Under that place you are dragging down,
Yes,
there's a refresh button there. You just refresh the answer. I just want to know why it gave you 0. And
yeah.
it's actually 400 plus.
442, yes.
Okay, let it run again. Okay.
So I actually wondered as well. That's why I had to go to the lake house to check if it's actually there. And it showed that it was there. So it's still in progress. Still in progress. It's still saying same thing. Okay, job one. So actually, it's actually meant to show us 442 here and 442 here.
Just refresh down there. Let's see whether it will correct it. It's still showing 0. Okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gucci. All right, so we have successfully copied our data source, our data from sample data, which is the diabetes sample data, into our destination Lakehouse, which is Apex LH. I'm just going to go back for us to see how it's done. So we're here now. You can choose to do any other thing you want to do, Yeah, so this is it. All right. So we have actually done our copy job. And yeah, if you have any question at this point, please ask because we're getting into the next one. Any question? Or any suggestion? Okay, so I can actually see the chat screen. So I'm just asking. Mr. Didi, is there any question, please?
Well, at the moment, there is no question on the chat,
Okay.
except
Okay.
for one of us, Asadu, that dropped his detail. I guess it's for the moderator, it's for Mr. Rashid to profile.
Oh, okay. Yes. So please, if you've not been profiled, please reach out to Mr. Rashid and he'll profile you. Thank you. So you're going to have this fabric environment where you can actually do your own experiment.
And in addition, for those of you that have been profiled, please try what she has done. Try it out. If you are having challenge, share your screen. Let her help you to fix those issues you may likely have. Thank you. Continue.
Okay, Mr. David, you're saying they can try it in real, like right now, right? While we were doing that.
Yeah, for those of them that already have their accounts.
Okay. So I
And
think
for
that
those of you
brings
that have the account that don't even know how to log in. So if you don't know how to log in, let us know. We'll guide you because this is not just a theoretical class, it's hands-on class. So maybe after our lecture, if you have challenges, please just get ready to ask all your questions. Please go on.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Deji. Okay, so I think that brings us to our next question. If you've been profiled already, my next question is, are you following what I'm doing? Are you doing it while I'm doing it, or anyone? Or are you just watching and you do them later? Anyone, so you can share your screen. That's why I'm asking. Mr. Greg. Hello, Mr. Greg. Have you been profiled?
Yeah, I just sent. I didn't know how to locate the Q&A, but I sent Mr. Rashid a direct mail. So
okay.
then I'll
How
practice it
about
once I. Okay, right on, sir. Right on.
Sorry, on this meeting link, if you look either at the top of your Teams or at the bottom, you will see chat. But if you click on chat is not enabled because a live event. So, but beside chat, you will see Q and A. You will see people. So that Q and A, click on it.
I'm seeing people.
But there should be Q and A around that place you saw people.
I'm not seeing anything like that on my screen.
Okay, let me see if I can drop on our WhatsApp. You're on WhatsApp, right? You're on WhatsApp, right?
Yeah,
DP,
the general one. Yeah.
The general one. So
which of them is it? Group 1 or group 2? Because there are 2 groups.
I think it's group 1.
So I've dropped a step on both group 1 and group 2. So please just see what I circled. If you see what I circled, then that can help you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Somebody hand is still up.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, please.
Shay. Hello, Shay. Are you there?
Please, I have a question. Yeah, I'm here. Please.
Yes.
Because I'm just thinking, really. I'm not a data engineer, so maybe open after this class, I'll be one. But I'm just thinking based on my understanding of data. All right. So let's say I have SharePoint or I have MS SQL, And I know once you run a job, let's say like a copy job, for instance, and then we have a section that says, do you want to merge or append? Now I have append, let's say selected. No, yeah, okay, it's appending. So I believe the data that is being copied is a static data, so which means that it's not a transactional data. I mean, in that line. So
Yes.
let's say I copied row 1 to row 10, for instance, let's say at the first copy, and then along the line is a transactional data. There's a change or there's a modification in row 2. Now, when this particular job runs again, is it going to take in cognizance that, oh, there's a modification on row 2, and then modify the data that I have in my data lake or in my warehouse? What happens to that data at the
Thank
next
you.
run of the job?
Thank you very much, Sheyi. So I love the way you are thinking through this process.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with a transactional database. Now, transactional database, majorly, you don't edit in transactional database, you insert. So let's assume bank transactions. As at today, I'm asked to do an ETL process to copy the data from the transaction log into a data warehouse on Fabric. I have created a lakehouse and I instructed the lakehouse to help me do overwrites. Overwrite, if there are 1 billion transactions in the database, overwrite will copy 1 billion today and put it there. Tomorrow, it has increased from 1 billion to 1.1 billion. Overwrite will copy 1.1 billion and overwrite the destination. This can kill the network, the bandwidth of the company. So in that case, since a transaction, I will not use overwrite. I would rather use what? Incremental. Incremental, it knows where it stops. It only copy the difference. It is smart to understand where it stops. It copies the difference and take it in. Now, again, still on incremental or merge, not only copying the increments, he also notice if there are some other changes along, maybe it's a master file. There are already some other changes along. He recognizes those updates because incremental does not really copy the real database. It copies the transaction log. Transaction log will tell you all the modifications that have been done. On row 4, they updated this. On row 7. So that's what it's going to copy and it's going to lay it against the warehouse. I don't know if this makes sense to Shane.
Yes, it makes sense.
Yeah. So that is the meaning of incremental. But if it's a small database, maybe the database is about 5,000 to 1 million, I can always keep overwriting. But if the database is massive, running to billions, overwriting will kill the network, the bandwidth of the company. So I would rather prefer to go with incremental. Only pick the missing parts, go and add it to it. Or the updated part, go and add it to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shay, for that question. Thank you, Mr. DJ, for your response. All right. So, I mean, after your copy job, you can then choose to analyze the data here. Okay. But remember, the purpose of this particular training today is to know how to ingest data using copy job, using Dataflow Gen 2, and pipeline. So we are done with our copy job. All right, let's go back to our workspace, Apex workspace. Awesome. So over here, you can see that we have our Apex Lakehouse. We have our copy job. It's actually showing here that we copied the job. This is our Lakehouse here. Awesome. So we want to actually do another type of style of ingesting data, and it's going to be Dataflow Gen 2. So how do you do that? You still go back to new item, remember? Click on it. Awesome. I think my laptop is, just give it a moment, please. Okay, it's coming up. Information overload. Laptop has been working overtime. All right, so yeah. So you can choose to filter by keyword. You can search here for Dataflow Gen 2. You can pick it up here from your get data, or you can pick it up here, right? So let's go with this Dataflow Gen 2. All right, so it's asking us, what do we want to name our data flow? Let's just call it Apex Data Flow 1. Just saying Apex so that we can tag it properly. Create. So the beautiful thing about Dataflow is that you can get data from any source, including from your local machine. Okay, so this is it. You can see our home, you can transform, you can add your column if you already have tables here. You can import from Excel, you can import from SQL Server, you can import from a text or CSV file, import from other data flows, and of course, run mapping data flow. You can also do that too. So let's click here to see all the other options that we have. Oh, beautiful. So just like I mentioned earlier, we have our Excel workbook. You can actually just, upload an Excel workbook here and work. You can choose to connect to your SQL Server. If you have a connection string, just do that. Your SharePoint folder, just like she had asked before, your text CSV, Power BI data flow. You can also click here if you want more. Awesome. Yes. So even for PDFs too, you can choose to upload a PDF file, a folder as well. But the thing with folders is, you need to create a data gateway for that. Yes. So let's see. SAP, Amazon Redshift, just any kind of data. It's robust. It's robust. Microsoft has made Fabric in a way that you can actually connect it. There's literally almost no excuse to say, oh, I can't get a data source into Fabric. Yeah. But for today, we're just going to work with a CSV file. We've worked with our sample data set already from Fabric. Let's just try something different. So we'll click on our text CSV. Awesome. So it's saying link to file. You can choose to get your URL from any link, either from your local machine or from your GitHub, and you just put it here if you want to. Or you can browse your OneDrive to do that. Or you can upload your file. I just want to upload my file. Yeah. So you can either drag your file here or you browse. I want to browse. So I have a data set here, and it's called Enterprise Store data set, and it has 2,000 rows. I'll just click on it and click on open. You can see that's actually uploading. So you just give it some time to upload. It's about 303 megabytes. Okay. Yeah. So you can also see the connection credentials here, seeing where it actually got. This is the connection here. Yeah. All right. So everything looks good, I believe. Let's see. Everything looks good. We can choose to check our file location. You get an error or something. And then click on next. Just give it some time to load. So you can see that everything here is just drag and drop. So remember what we had talked about, depending on developer skill sets, personal skill sets. Yes, you can use that. So there's no excuse of saying, oh, I cannot actually write Python. That's why I can't do this. I can't, it's possible to do that, This is not saying you shouldn't actually learn SQL. Very important, of course. Yes. So the beauty about Dataflow Gen 2 is just like Power BI query, just what it just looks like. Okay, so this is everything here. Delimited is a comma delimited, so this is okay. Based on 200 first rows, that's great. You can look through, just check out our columns and our data types, just to be sure that everything is okay. Remember, this is a data set I'm getting from my system, my local machine. So important that I have to just look through it, make sure that everything is okay. Make sure my data types especially looks good. This is the sales data set. So we have our discount amount, we have our net sales, we have our cost, we have our profit. We even have the payment method that was used to actually make transfers. Yeah. So I think at this point, let's see. Let's click here. Okay. There it is. And then we click on create. Beautiful. This looks so familiar. So if you're used to Power BI, this will be really familiar for you. Okay. You can now transform your data sets here if you want to, anyhow you want to do columns you want to remove, add columns, make first row your head, make first row as headers, whatever you want, you can do that. You have a save and run here. You can check to validate, just so much more. You can choose to add data if you want to. Yeah, and also enter data if you just actually want to just enter data manually, you can do that. Yes, and as usual in Power Query, I don't know if any question. Is everyone familiar with Power Query, please? Are you familiar with Power Query or not?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know who said yes, but that sounded like Shay. I don't know. I hope I'm right.
No, Jami.
Jami, okay, I don't know. Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you. Any other person? No. Okay, Shay, are you
I also use Power Query. Oh. Jones.
I did say no. Okay. Yeah, of course. So, Shay has said he wants to be a data engineer. So I was thinking he's a data analyst already. I don't know. Shay, are you?
Though at least I think I have the certification, but I'm not using it to chop. So
Don't worry, but
I know
trust
about
me,
it, but not actually.
no, I think you would do great at this because your questions are really, really good. Yeah. And yeah, so let's just go right in. So you can see that this is the Power Query editor. So if you want to transform it, my data looks good. It's clean. I made sure that my data was clean before while I was actually planning the class, I created a database and I made it clean. So yeah, just to make sure, because we really work with time here. So you look through, there are no nulls, everything looks great. And remember, what are we trying to do? We're trying to ingest data into our Lakehouse, yeah? So let's assume we have transformed cleaned our data because our data is actually clean now. But let's assume we're doing a lot of transformations and then it's time for us to clean our data. We'll just say, okay, after cleaning our data, where are we going to send this to? We want to send it to the Lakehouse, yeah? So you see this place down here, data destination. So it's asking us, where are we going to take this data and put it into? Where do we want to put this data into? So we'll click here on this plus icon here. I know it's really little, but you can see it. Yeah. So you click on that. It's asking us, you want a new destination, a new warehouse, a SQL Server database, or a SharePoint? No, you just click on more. So as you can see here, remember we said we want to put it into our Lakehouse, and we have two Lakehouses here. This is not for the purpose of our training. Today we are working with Apex. Remember, we're working with Apex Solutions. So we want to move it to Apex Lakehouse. So you just click on Apex Lakehouse, chosen it. Awesome. So right now, this is the name of our data set. It says enterprise store data. It's just too long, so I'm just going to reduce this, please. Whilst you're naming your data set from the onset, please feel free to make it as simple as possible. That helps. The reason why I left this like this was to know the amount, because I have different data sets at different points. I just need to be sure that, okay, this is the one I really want to use. That's why I left it there. So I'll just put it as store sales data set. I'm just going to separate. I think it looks good. And then we want to put it in our default schema. Yeah. So it's saying here, a new table will be created in DBO. That's what it's saying, because we actually need a table to move this data into. So for the purpose of this training, I'm just using DBO. But if let's assume you have another table, you can move it into that. I hope that's okay. All right, so we pick this. It's actually showing us our diabetes data, but of course, that's not what we're working with. We're not adding it to it. We're not adding it to this folder. This is the sample data we used for the copy job. We just want to do something different. So I'm going to click on this and then next. Awesome. So at every point, Fabric always gives you an opportunity to check through your data types to be sure that really you know what you're doing, everything is okay, because they don't want you to have errors and start going back. So if you notice at every point, it's always asking you, are you checking this, or check this column map and check that this is okay, check that your source type is great, check that, which is great. So that's really good. That's the beauty of technology, for you to have it as easy as possible. So I'm just going to save my setting here. To give it some time to load. And it's running. You can see it up here, saying saving draft up here. Oh yeah, so it's saying our draft is saved. Okay, that's great. So we've successfully created our data flow. Now, let's just go back to Lakehouse. I want to show you something. And I'll just refresh. So what did we notice here? We can't actually see our data sets yet, right? We can't see it yet, okay? So because of that, we'll have to create a pipeline to link it through. So this is where the pipeline comes in. So what do? We just go back to our workspace, Apex workspace, and we'll go back to new items where we can see everything. In a way, my laptop is just getting stuck, but give her grace. Actually, she works overtime, so give her grace. Awesome. So we have our pipeline here. You can actually choose to get it from here, or you can choose to filter by keyword if you want to. Well, let's just click here and just one. Okay, let's name this Apex Pipeline 1. That's good. And what workspace? Apex workspace, of course. And create. Please, if I'm too fast, tell me. Awesome. So what do we see here? Now, this is our pipeline area. We have our home, we have activities, we have run, we have view. Click on activities, just see, we can copy data, data flow, notebook, get metadata, lookup, script, stored procedure. It just shows you your different activities. When you run it, this is what you need. You're validating, you can choose your schedule, trigger. But then let's just go back to home. We want to click create a pipeline activity, okay, to see how we can move our sales data into our schema. So let's see. Click on pipeline activity. And we click on data flow. All right. So this is it, okay? And then it's action. Let's see. All right, let's see. Wasting time. All right, so this is a pipeline.
Yeah. Sorry, you have hands up.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Jamil, hand is up. My own hand is up too. Jamil, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'm just curious. This creation of pipeline, is it only required when creating uh, data flow Gen 2, or are there any other reasons why it is required? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jamie, for
You
that
responding?
question.
Okay.
So you have created data flow, you have created maybe notebook, you have created copy activity, you have created about 4, 5, 7 activities, but you wanted them to run through a flow, a sequence. Now look, if you are done with the job, copy job, then go ahead and do this data flow. When you are done, go ahead and run this notebook script, this Python script or notebook. So this data flow allows you to connect more activities together. For example, sorry for tampering with your work. I will delete what I want to do. Can you help me click on activity and add another activity? Activity up there. Activity. I think you did copy job. Is there copy job there?
I have my copy job here. Yeah.
No, I just want to add it from here.
Okay.
Click on copy data. Drop the copy data down. You'll
Yes.
see copy job. Is there anything like copy job? Add copy job. Yes, add copy job.
Yeah.
That's another activity. Now, Jamil, I can add notebook. Maybe I've written a Python notebook. Help me add notebook again. Notebook. No, under activity, the notebook. Add notebook,
Yes.
making 3. Now, I want to say, when you are done with the data flow Gen 2 that I did, once you are successful, then start copying the job. When you are successful, start executing the notebook. Then help me connect. Jane, look at what she's doing. You can connect. So this is the essence of using a pipeline. So I guess she's just trying to show us pipeline to do just one activity. You use it when the activities are more, and you want to have a sequence of flow. So sorry, Jane, help me delete the remaining 2 you brought in.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Just click on them one by one. Delete should be, there's a delete inside each of them. Thank you.
So you said
So Jamil, is that question answered?
Yes, to make it sound more familiar, just like the engineering name sounds, you create you build your house or whatever, and then you build the road, several roads that
To connect them together.
can be used for access to it. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
That's a
So,
very
but this
great
connection here also work with sequence. Which one should I do first before which one?
Oh, all right.
So, my own question, June, please, when you are done, add me as a member to the workspace. I'm interested in working on this data set you put here.
Okay.
Not only me, those of us that will be interested too, you can add us to the workspace, but I am interested. Okay. So another hand is up. Hold on. Shay.
Yeah, Shay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just thinking again. So I did. Thank you very much, Fulani, for the privilege. And then I was actually in a schoolwork, and then it came handy for me to run. What's it called? A note. What's it called? A Jupyter note. So which I was able to do with this. Using this and then using a CSV. But now bringing up this data flow, I'm just thinking. So let's say I have a notebook, and then I want to output the images to, let's say, and let's say for other stakeholders. I have an output that it's outside. Yeah. So maybe there's an external folder. I want to run an output. Is there any provision for that? I don't know if my question makes any sense.
It does 100%. Now, I want you to further understand that what we are doing today is injection. So what you're already talking about is already the output. Now, the output, if the output from our injection is going from a source to the data lake, to the lake house. But if your output is not a structured data, if it's image, graph, and so on, please, you cannot put them inside a structured data. In your lake house, there is also a file. Let me quickly show it to us. Can you go back to your lake house, please? Can you go back to your lake house?
Yeah.
Under the lake house, there is, at the top of the lake house is a combination of two things, a warehouse and a data lake. So the warehouse is what we call table. That's the upper part. The lower part, help me click on the files. The lower part is files. So you can output all your files here. Just create a folder, right click, create a folder, right click, you see new folder or new subfolder. Thank you.
Yeah.
New subfolder. Now say maybe medical images. So as I'm running my notebook, I want you to export its results into this place for other people to see. So this folder that I've created is what I will allow people to see the output. So you can output if it's image, if it's file, if it's like PDF, this is where you can't put them in the table. You can only put them in the file. So it will allow you to do that as well. Sheyi, I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so go on. You are building something, pipeline.
Yes, of course. Pipeline. All right, so we have our pipeline screen here, and you can see our activity, just like Mr. Bailey had mentioned earlier. You can choose to add all the activities and then connect them. Okay, so let's see. So here we have general, where we have our name, description. You can choose to add a description if you want. Activity state activated. We're going to leave it as activated. The time, and then advanced, of course. If you have any other settings you want to secure output or secure input. But this, we're not going to do that. And then of course we'll go to our settings just to check it out. Now, remember what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a connection so we can get our enterprise data set, enterprise store data set into a Lakehouse. So you can see here that our workspace is what Apex workspace, which is great. If you have any workspace you want to connect it to, you can click down and you can see all the workspaces I have here. Okay, I already have a previous DP700 workspace, but that's not what we're using for this Microsoft Data Days. We're using Apex workspace. So this is great at Apex workspace. And then we'll click on our data flow. Awesome. Okay, the initial time I clicked, if you notice, nothing came out. But right now we can see that we have our Apex data flow 1. Just click on that. It's loading. Awesome. And I think it looks good. Okay. And then please just activate it.
You can validate before you run it. Under run,
you go back to home and then we'll validate.
Correct.
Okay, so it's saying our pipeline has been validated. We don't have any errors. Great. And then we just run it. You have unsafe changes. If you continue, the pipeline will save. Yes, so save and run. You can see there, give us an indication. It's actually running our pipeline.
So the pipeline is executing the task inside Dataflow Gen 2 that she built.
Yeah. It's still running. Let's just give it some time.
Back to the question somebody asks, must I come to pipeline? You can run it straight from the Dataflow Gen 2. I don't know if Dataflow Gen 2 is still, okay, Apex Dataflow. Please go to Apex Dataflow. You can actually run it straight from there. I believe what she's trying to do is to teach us pipeline. look at the first icon under home. It's save and run.
Save and run.
That's, you can save your work and run, but I guess she did not want to run it from here to teach us pipeline. She just saved it and she used pipeline to run it. And pipeline has several advantages. The pipeline failed though.
Pipeline failed. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see our error message.
So sorry, because of time, just show us how to schedule a task in pipeline. That is the major reason why we do pipeline.
Okay, give me a moment. Okay, so it didn't work, but you can see we have an error message here. You can just read it, and then troubleshoot. Then to schedule, so this is how to schedule a pipeline. We just add a schedule. So the idea is that how often will it refresh? If you have more data coming in, how often will it refresh? We have our fixed type of schedules, and we also have our interval-based schedules. I'm going to leave it at fixed. Shay had asked a question relating to this, so you can actually choose to use an interval-based schedule if you want. And then it's asking us, so how many times should we repeat it? The daily, weekly? So let's put it at daily. And it's saying time of the day when we want it to actually move, when we want to actually be refreshed. So let's just see what's the time now. It's saying 5:33 here. So let me just put it at 5:34 p.m. That's great. And it's already 34. So let me put it at 35.
It's already 5:34.
Yes, let me put it at 35. Yes. Okay, so we can even add more times if we want to here. And then we have our start date and time, our end date and time. Let me just quickly run through it. Start date and time, great. End date and time, we can have it for tomorrow because I don't want it to just lag. This is just for training purposes. And we'll click save.
Before you save, select our timing system.
I have to
edit it.
Yes, I'm actually rushing because of time. All right, so our time zone is very important. Where are we now? We are in West Africa. So please don't forget to click on West Africa. If you're in Europe, you click on Europe. Ours is usually UTC +1. So you just click on UTC +1. Yeah, and then click on save.
So fantastic. Yeah, Shei's hand is up.
Yes, Shei, please.
All right, next question, please. Can there be a rollback? I think I know, Fulani mentioned that there can be a rollback. Maybe we have a change management, blah, 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 and other stuff. So, but if I run a job, let's say it run the first time, perfect. Secondly, there's a bala blue in the data. Is it possible to do a what's it called? A rollback? Yes. No,
Yes,
let's say, so there's an activity that happened, and then you discover that there's a problem with the data or something, and then you want to do a rollback of that particular run. So the schedule means that's going to run at interval. So let's say it runs today, tomorrow there's a problem, you want to do a rollback of what happened yesterday. Is it possible? Or today?
Sure, you can always have a rollback. So what we always do, you can set versioning, you can actually do all those ones are around your data security and your governance, your policies. So that look, if there's a problem, then roll back. But I know John will also show us ways you can even know there's a problem. It may not even be a change management. Once the flow, your pipeline flow hits a rock, it should trigger a mail to you that hit a rock. So when you come back to your pipeline job, you will now see that, oh, it fails at this point. He has completed all this one. The monitoring, the history will tell you what really happened. So you can, even without setting any versioning or anything, you will know the last thing he did and where it stopped. You can fix it and ask it to continue from there. Or you can decide to start that day process all over again. So all those things, they are possible. It depends on you, on what you are doing. So Jane, can you show us how to send mail to the owner of the head of data engineers to manage issues?
Yes, of course. So I think that brings us, since we had a failed data flow, if there was actually, if this is a way to just do it. Just put in your mail here, or whoever. Let's assume I'm the lead, data engineering lead, and you need me to know if there's an issue at every point. This is my email here for data and AI. Yes, I can choose to add another person. Mr. Deji, can you give me yours?
Ayodeji.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
it.
Awesome. You can see here. So, yeah, I think that's it. So it's already telling us that every day, this is it. Last successful audit not available. Yes. So if there's actually an issue, Mr. Deji gets an email and I get an email too. You can choose to edit here. You can edit your schedules here if you want to, to suit the time you want or how you want it. Let's assume you were probably traveling or something. It just depends. You can choose to change it, change your time zone. Yeah, and I think that's about that. So yeah. And okay, for this to have happened, I don't know why it failed. Really, it's supposed to have actually gone through, but we are actually meant to have seen our data here. I'm just refreshing the Lakehouse just in case.
You can run it you can run it directly from the data flow.
Mm.
Run it from the data flow. Save and run. No, data flow, not pipeline.
Because
Data
it's
flow.
saying failed.
Just save and run. Try it from there.
Okay.
To fix it, you need to troubleshoot. Okay, because time is going, we have just 20 more minutes. Let's allow for questions.
Yes.
Questions.
Do we have any questions, please?
Sorry, Mr. Rashid, sir.
Okay, Rashid.
I dropped some text in your WhatsApp now. I tried to log in, but I'm getting incorrect password with my Fabric.
Did he send you username and password?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
You should.
Is
be
it character sensitive?
Can you share your screen?
I just tried to access
Let's
it
quickly
now.
fix. Okay, at least everybody should practice all what our data engineers have shown us today, please.
So can I stop sharing now?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. All right.
Greg, your hand is up, Greg.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I saw your this thing, but I've sent my screenshot. On my Teams, I'm not seeing that Q&A. I'm not seeing anything like that. So I don't know, based on the profiling. So I sent my name and I think my email and phone number to Mr. Rashid's.
To profile you, right?
Yes, so that I can practice what was taught today.
You need to really practice. Okay, so yeah, Jamil, I can see you log in with Jamil at this. So your password. Wow.
Yes.
Please just copy and paste that password. Don't try to type it. Copy and paste whatever Rashid sent to you. Copy and paste it.
Yeah, this is it on my clipboard. So I didn't type.
I can't see your clipboard. You just copy and you are not sharing your entire screen. Don't worry. Okay, you've pasted it.
Yeah.
Hope there's no space before and after.
None.
No space before and after.
None at all.
Please sign in now.
His hand is up as well.
Okay, Shay, you can go ahead with your question as Jamie is trying to sign in.
Okay, so my question is, are there data? So I saw we had what's it called? Some data to play around with. I don't know if there's data that maybe different type of data that we can maybe play with maybe SharePoint, SQL data, and the likes. I don't know if there's any. And then
Of course,
number two.
there is SharePoint, there is CSV, there is Excel data, but for SQL, okay, I can also share SQL data with us. Just make sure you join the WhatsApp group. Sheyi, are you on the WhatsApp group for this DP700, not the general
Yes.
one?
Yes, I'm
If you're on the DP700, I will share some with you. So maybe Joan can also share the one she used in class today with us. I saw she used one enterprise something. She can also share with us.
Or I could create another one to actually share. I mean, just so that they don't encounter any
Oh,
error.
okay. Any error? Since that one is giving error. Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Okay.
And then,
Another question.
secondly, is it possible to have a kind of I don't know if that was shared, to have what to expect in each of the week, so that it will also limit some kind of question. So if I know, okay, fine, okay, next week we are treating this particular topic. If I have any question, at least it will help me to be able to model my question and say, okay, I think this one is the next week question. I don't know if there's any structure in terms of what to expect in learning.
Okay. So before I go into that, let me quickly check. So Jamil, maybe Rashid needs to reset you. You can't
Yes, sir.
reset yourself for the first time. Do you get my point?
Okay, sir.
So Rashid, we need to reset you. Okay, now back to the question that was asked. So let me quickly attend to that question now. Confirm you can see my screen.
Yes.
Can anybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. For the DP700 fabric data engineers, so we are looking at meeting the following days. Today is on the 27th. So 27th, we are looking at implementing and managing analytic solution. So on July 4th, we have started ingestion today, the demo, but we did not do notebook. At least John has really tried. She touched about 3 things there. I know she touched copy job, she touched Dataflow Gen 2, and she touched, there's one more, pipeline. So we will also touch some other things by next week, maybe notebook. But for us to touch notebook, you must be very good in Python, SQL, or Scala, or R. So those family, you need to be good at any of them. So if you're on this call and you are new, please go and learn some basic things around there. Let me drop on the Q&A one place that is fantastic that you can actually learn easily. It's called W3 School. I don't know how many of you have explored that platform. W3 Schools. Okay, so you can explore that. So we'll be spending more time on ingestion using other tools apart from the one Jane has shown to us today. And when we get to July, we'll start monitoring and optimizing. So that is where somebody asks a question: what if it failed? Monitoring. I need it to perform better, optimizing. So not just creating your ETL, your data pipeline, we need to really manage the flow and so many other things. And finally, the first week in August, we want to prepare you for the exam. And for those that are consistent from day one to the last day, for the 8 days or 9 days, I don't know how many days in total, for those that are consistent, that are filling the attendance, I don't know if you have been giving the attendance, maybe on the platform, Rashid can share it with us on the DP900, because all these things will be submitted to Microsoft. So we are not the one giving you the voucher, it's Microsoft. So once you are fortunate to win the voucher, we don't want you to miss out on that voucher. A voucher that worth $165, you should be able to convert it to success and certificate. So August, we want to prepare us for the professional exam. So I don't know if this answer, who has the question? Is that Greg?
No, my question is joining the DP700 WhatsApp group. That's
The
my
WhatsApp
question.
group. I
Yes.
dropped the link. I dropped the link on Q. Oh, you did not have Q&A.
I
Okay,
don't
don't
have
worry.
it.
Don't worry. On the general platform, I will drop it there. So you can just click to join this, our own small group. Because
you,
by August, we are going to delete the group once we achieve our aim. Our aim is to produce data engineers. And I need all of us to be consistent throughout.
Then we
So,
need the form, sir, for registration, because we didn't register last week. I don't think we
from okay, I will communicate same with Rashid is not on this call. It would have really helped us if he's here. I will communicate same with him.
Okay, thank
So
you, sir.
that is that. So any other question for me? Who has a question about this schedule? Somebody asked about this schedule.
Hi, Sheyi
Brought
asked.
me.
You were
Oh,
saying,
Sheyi, are you
yeah.
okay with this schedule?
Yes, I'm okay.
Yeah, thank you. So any other question?
I have another question.
Please go ahead.
So, what is the job market like for engineers in Nigeria? I know sometimes
Okay.
there's this hype about IT certification.
Hi.
Though I tried,
Say hi.
I think I want to say thank you again because I think I joined this. I think I joined as far back as 2021. I think they did something around Unilag then. I came in for the
Oh,
power hubs, and that
okay.
has really helped me greatly, even in
Oh,
what I do
fantastic.
day to day. So, but the question in my head is, though I couldn't push further, but I still use it to do some stuff, and it brings me some money sometimes. So, but the
Fantastic.
question is, so data engineering, I know there's a lot of hype when it comes to certification, and in Nigeria, the reality is different from over there. So, what does it look like getting a job, or maybe is it migrating now from one particular role in IT into data engineering?
Good. Now, let me quickly give you this. As data engineers, the opportunity is much. So most of the time, small organization, they don't need data engineer. They just employ data analysts. So the analyst will do the work of data engineer. They do the work of ETL. They get their data, they clean it, and they use it. But in enterprise organization, big organization, you don't dare try to, in fact, if you're a data engineer, face your data engineering work. So now at that point, the question now is, what are the opportunities around data engineering or data engineers? So let me just quickly look up something on, if you can still see my screen. So data engineering job opportunities. In which country are you interested in sharing?
Let's say Nigeria or any, let's start with Nigeria.
Hey, in Nigeria. So,
Or wherever the opportunities are.
so data opportunity, number one, banks, fintechs. So these are the opportunities. So now at the moment as we talk, there are some vacancy in Lagos. If you are based in Lagos, there is one at the moment in Flour Mill. There is one at the moment in Royal Gates. So, and we still have about 40 within Lagos State in 49 within Lagos State, Nigeria. So, Sheyi, which one do you want to go for?
Okay, so let's check the LinkedIn.
The LinkedIn. So go on LinkedIn, you will see all the possible opportunities around Lagos, Nigeria. InterSwitch need one. At least I'm aware of this one. Somebody called me from InterSwitch. Did I have any data engineer that is ready to do something? So, and many more. So these are the opportunities around waiting for placements in Lagos. Some are just 6 days ago. Some are 4 days ago. Some, they are all there for grab. And number 2 question I would love to ask. So data engineer job salary. in Nigeria? Because these are questions that people always ask me. So within the country, entry level, your monthly salary is around 150 to 350. But if you have spent some years as data engineers, your salary should not be less than 400, and it can get as much as 1.5. But if you are already a senior data engineer in any organization, you should not collect anything less than 1.5. And it can be as much as 3 million naira. So globally.
Okay, so Mr. Shea, Mr. DJ.
Yes.
Yes. He could also explore, opportunities around Africa too. So if you're worried about, how, maybe getting job visas, please kindly explore the African space too, other African countries. You can.
Great. So please, Sheyi, I don't know if I've answered your question. Is Sheyi still on this call? Oh, Sheyi, they asked the question, is not on the call. So, but the major thing is the opportunity around data engineering is huge, and it's all around us. Any other question, please? Okay, if there is
sorry,
no
I have a
question,
question.
please go ahead.
Can someone who's into DevOps be a data engineer?
Of course, there is nothing that is stopping you as long as you are ready to pick up a new learning field. You are always welcome. So it's not about you picking it up, it's about can you add it onto what you are doing.
Okay.
So that is that. Another question? Okay. So at this point, we formally hand over to our moderator. Rashid is not on the call. Okay, I think we need to draw the curtain here. So I want to appreciate all of you on the call, and I want Joan to give us a final closing call. Joan, over to you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Deji. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this session. If you did, please kindly give a thumbs up or an applause. You can still go back. Of course, it's recorded, so you can go back and then look through, just to practice. Remember you have sample data, and also remember that you can actually create your own data as well if you want to. But we're going to get data for you, so I'm not going to forget that. At the back of our minds to create that. But also make sure you get profile, please. Reach out to Mr. Rashid later. I don't think he's online currently, but you can still send him a message on WhatsApp so he can help profile you. I don't know who had the issue with his Jamil.
Yeah, that's Jamil.
Jamil, yes. So Jamil, please reach out to Mr. Rashid and he will help you out. It's important that you actually have this to practice, because if you don't practice constantly, you get to forget it. And data engineering is fun. As you can see, if you're low code, you can work on it. If you are an expert coder, you can also work with it as well. So nice to meet you. Great to meet you all again. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, our able trainer.